The retail consultants Kantar say our annual food bills are due to shoot up by £180 this year. This is due to grocery inflation, which now stands at 3.8%, with products seeing the highest rises, including crisps and red meat. Let's speak to Kate Hardcastle, who's a consumer and retail expert we love on this programme at Insight with Passion. Evening, Kate.
Hi, Phil.
It's quite depressing, this, isn't it? And I think I'm already kind of starting to see it. I tell you what I've noticed in my shops is that things that would have been on offers, kind of meal deal things, are now all priced individually, which in turn will put the cost of the basket up. But what are we seeing about specific price hikes with the food stuffs that I've mentioned there?
Well, it's not the greatest story to start our year with, really, because obviously it's incredibly challenging, very worrying for families out there trying to manage a budget. This is the essential. The two essentials, feed and fuel, are on the increase. So particularly noted things like your savoury snacks, fresh beef, crisps, they're all on the up. And, savoury snacks by about 13.5% sometimes. It's significant. And I think the fact, as you've mentioned, that we'll see to start with as consumers, because a lot of the big stores came out with these messages at the beginning of the year telling us they couldn't hold on to the price increases themselves. They couldn't internalise that anymore. It was going to be passed on. And we've been warned of that, particularly in the non-food sector from brands like Next as well, where they're saying, look, prices are going to go up. We are dealing with so many inflationary issues that for us as shoppers, it's going to be those deals. It's going to be that value that is quite challenging. So the first thing, that I think of is a lot of us are quite guilty of doing shopping in a bit of a daydream and a haze. We're looking at the phone, we're checking other things, we don't know what we need. And the big kind of counterbalance stat that I'd always say at this point is we have a significant food waste issue in this country as well. 60% of food from households, restaurants, etc., ends up being wasted. So we've got to start shopping smart and then also managing our food smartly to be able to counterbalance this, because there's no good news. There's no way of saying, well, it's not going to happen, or shop only at this store and you won't feel it. We're going to feel it pretty much across the board.
You say there's no good news. I was trying to find a glimmer. Doesn't this report say that bacon is 3.5% cheaper?
It's not good for you though, is it? I can't go around advocating that you eat red meat, bacon and beer and lager, which are the things that have dropped in price a little bit. I mean, if you're a savvy shopper, there's always a deal to be had. There's always bargains to be had. But we've got to be realistic in terms of the time of year as well, Phil. A lot of people coming out of a really challenging December, the longest month, January. You're getting your pay, you're trying to pay off the bills, you might be paying a bit back from Christmas. And then you're looking at your fuel, you're looking at your food bills, and you're thinking, goodness me, how am I going to manage this? And then there's the holiday adverts on the television to try and encourage you to book when we all need it, but we might least afford it. So, I mean, it's a real issue. I think Jack Monroe, who is a chef and a campaigner, has done some great work on this, because as retail analysts, a lot of the time, there's a commentary about rising food prices, and the data they use are often that a metric that surveys 700 items, but that those items haven't really been realigned for a long time, and they included things like champagne and mattresses, and it's quite random and not relevant for today's day and age in terms of reporting. So when we talk about inflationary pressure, we need to get real. We need to talk about the actuals of your real shopping basket and what that means.
Yeah, here. Thank you, Kate. Nice to catch up with you again. Kate Hardcastle, consumer and retail expert at Insight with Passion.